Okay, so I wanted to go through and work a few of the homework questions in case you guys had questions. So I'm going to try and do a few of them for you, maybe one of each kind. And I might need to do it kind of quickly, or I might need to break it into 2 videos if it gets too long. Okay, so first thing, we are changing this into vertex form. So right now this is standard form and we want vertex form. So if you use your flip chart, the way to get vertex form is to complete the square. So the first thing that I'm going to do is move the 66 to the other side. So that's going to give me a negative 66. Then I'm going to take out the 2 because we need to get rid of the leading coefficient here. I'm going to take it just out of this side. So that's going to make the right side not a fraction. So, although it's even, I guess. But so if we factor out a 2, this would be x squared plus 12x. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my blank there. And then equals negative 66 plus blank. Alright, so now what we need to do is figure out what number goes in this spot here. So the deal is when we complete the square, we take half of this middle number and square it. So half of 12x would be 6. If we square that, we would get 36. Now, before we jump over here and add 36, we need to remember that this 36 is going to have a 2 distributed with it. So it's not really going to be 36, it's really going to be 72. So that's what we want to add and subtract onto both sides. So then on the left side, I end up with 2, x plus 6 squared equals 6. And so I almost have it in vertex form. The last thing I need to do is to bring this 6 back over with the rest of the stuff. So y would equal 2, and then x plus 6 squared minus 6. And now I have this answer in vertex form. So that is the same equation in vertex form. Okay, next one. In order to get intercept form means factored form. So all I'm going to do is factor this problem. Since it has a negative 1 at the beginning, the first thing I'm going to do is factor out that negative. So I'll have x squared minus x minus 90. And then I can factor this one into 2 binomials. I need factors of 90 or negative 90 that would add up to negative 1. So I'm thinking x minus 10 and x plus 9. Now that negative 1 doesn't really need to be there. The negative needs to be there. So if you wanted to rewrite it, we could say negative and then x minus 10 and x plus 9. Alright, on the next one, standard form. If we want standard form of the equation, what we need to do is get rid of the parentheses. So what I'm going to do first is start by FOILing x plus 3 times x plus 3. And then I'm going to look for like terms. So if I FOIL this, I'll get x squared plus 6x plus 9. And then I need to add 9. So I will end up with x squared plus 6x plus 18. And now I have this one in standard form. And I forgot to cloud my answer over there. Okay, next one. Intercept form. Again, intercept form is factored form. This isn't factored form though, because I have this k at the end of it and then this negative right up here up front. But what I want to do is, in order to get intercept form, I need to get into standard form and then factor it. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this to be, actually I might write it right up here, x plus 8 times x plus 8. Because the first thing that I need to do, I'll zoom in a little bit for you, is to FOIL this. So the -2 is still out there and the plus 8 is still on the end. What I'm going to do now is multiply x plus 8 and x plus 8. So that will give me x squared plus 16x plus 64. Now I'm going to distribute the -2. So we'll have -2x squared minus 32x minus 128 plus 8. So that means now we have -2x squared minus 32x minus 120. Alright, so now I'm in standard form, and to get intercept form, what I need to do is to factor this. So I'm going to take out a -2, which would leave me with x squared plus 16x plus 60. And now I recognize that factors of 60 that would add up to be 16 would be 6 and 10. So I think I'm going to go up here for my answer. So the -2 is still out there. And then I have an x plus 6 and an x plus 10. And remember that you can check any of these by foiling them back together. So that is intercept form for number 7. All right, number 9 asks for standard form. Standard form does not have parentheses, so I'm going to FOIL these two together and then distribute the 3. So I still have the 3 out there, but once I FOIL these two together, I'll get x squared plus 10x plus 24. And I'm doing a lot of work mentally. Hopefully by now you guys are getting better at this. But when we do the outside, we get 6x, and the inside is 4x, and those would be like terms to get the 10x. Now the last thing I need to do is distribute the 3. So I'm going to end up with 3x squared plus 30x plus 72. And that is standard form. Standard form does not have parentheses in it. Oops. Okay, on the bottom, if I want vertex form, I need to complete the square. But in order to complete the square, I need to start in standard form. So the first thing I'm going to do on this one is to go ahead and FOIL these two together. So I'm going to get x squared plus 12x plus 35. Alright, now that I have that, I'm going to work on completing the square. So I'm going to move the -35, or the 35, over to the other side. So I'll have -35. And then I'm going to put a plus blank and a plus blank. And our leading coefficient is 1, so we don't need to worry about factoring anything out to get rid of that. This number right here, I'm going to get by taking half of 12, which is 6, and then square it. So this is going to be 36, and then this one over here will be 36. So on the left side, I have x plus 6 squared. On the right, I have 1. And the last thing I need for vertex form is to bring the 1 over. So y is going to equal x plus 6 squared minus 1. And now I have vertex form. So that's a quick review of the odd ones anyways from yesterday's assignment. We are quizzing tomorrow. We're quizzing over solving, which involves factoring, completing the square or quadratic formula, and then the converting, which is what this worksheet is right here. So when you're done with this video, you can pick up today's practice, which is a review sheet, and then answers will be posted on the blog after school this evening.